Hey everybody, welcome back to Thingee's Tech Talk, where we talk about all things tech. I'm Jeff.
You're Jeff? Just Jeff.
Just Jeff.
Just Jeff? I
Yeah.
guess I'm just Rob.
Just I
Really?
didn't say just
Threw
Jeff.
me off.
I said I'm Jeff, and I was
Okay.
about to point to you.
I'm Rob.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, today we're going to talk. If you watched our last video, we were talking a little bit about Q and how it's using AI, and we told you pre-selling a little bit that we're going to talk about conversational pathways, which is a key fundamental underlying technology, because that's what we love talking about, of how the new Q system works.
Yes, yes. So one of the things that we're using is something called the conversational pathway.
Said that already.
Yeah, but it uses, all right, so you know how we're talking right now and everybody understands what we're saying?
Hopefully.
Well, computers, until natural language processing, they didn't have the ability to understand the words that were coming out of my mouth. So,
well, it understood words, but not necessarily the specific words that you were saying.
Yeah, it didn't understand context. I mean,
well, but also voice, accents,
yes,
things like that.
And they've been working on this back when we were working at Dialogic, a long time ago.
A lot longer than anybody wants to admit.
But they were talking about that with, dragon dictation system. Yes, I did have hair. Dragon dictation systems, and they were trying to figure out how to get computers to understand language. And there was lots of training that went into this. Yep. Well, now we have the ability with AI, first off, to understand what we're saying to it, right, as well as to understand the context, as well as how to be able to respond. And it's doing it in a much more natural way than it happened in the past.
Well, natural in that it happens in real time, which requires an awful lot of processing power, huge amounts of data, huge data sets.
Yeah.
And just the ability to go through that very, very quickly, which is where, all of these thousands of video cards and things like that are going, is they're doing all this complex processing that usually, historically had been done for video and light and reflections and all that stuff that Jeff used to do back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And a good comparison, well, not a great comparison, but a good comparison is very similar to like Amazon Alexa or Google Home, where you're able to talk to those devices. They understand you to a certain extent.
Right.
But after a certain extent, it starts to drop off and you ask complex questions and you get...
Well, you get answers if it understands how to do the complex questions.
Yes.
And that's where what we're doing with conversational pathways in Q comes in. So whereas you could build a complex skill under the Alexa platform or something like that, so that it could do complicated things. It could be more conversational.
Yeah.
We're doing that on an AI platform and using the components of that to make it so that it can understand what most people are asking for. It can work through a knowledge base of information that we've provided it, so that it knows things about our business or your business or, a product line or training information, anything of that nature, to be able to have a conversation and actually sound like it knows what it's talking about, which is really the challenge that we run into a lot of times, and where a lot of the frustration with some of the tools like Alexa and Siri and those things come in, is where you're asking it something simple and it can't answer that.
Yeah.
And that's where it really gets frustrating. And that's what this approach and this utilization of conversational pathways is attempting to fix.
Yes.
So that you can ask it a complex or potentially multi-part question, and it has the intelligence and the resources to break it down and actually answer it.
Yeah.
And not just be, I think you said you want me to turn all the lights off in the house. When that's not what you said.
No. And with that natural language processing and the AI behind it, it does become a lot smarter.
Right.
One of the things that we didn't mention in last video, which I feel like we need to bring up here just a little bit about Q. Most of the other tools out there are requiring you to either have a computer, a laptop, an iPad, an iPhone, to have some sort of app or website that you're interacting with. Ours does. However, the way that you interact with the conversational pathway is with your phone.
Right.
So it's actually calling you back. It's using the thing that we use on a daily basis to talk with one another. I realize that people
always in everyone's pocket.
Always.
Well, most everyone's pocket.
Yeah.
I tend to leave my phone around, and there are certain people in my life these days that don't have their phone on them all the time.
Well, that's the reason why we have the watches. So you
Yeah.
You know that someone's calling you back. But essentially, you initiate the call. The conversational pathways, the AI and conversational pathways calling you back, and that's the way that you can get many of the benefits from this, whether it's customer service, speaking with somebody and actually getting connected, training.
Well, speaking with a person that understands you and you can also understand.
Yes.
Which I think from a customer service point of view is a serious frustration point with a lot of outsourcing, regardless of where you are. It's something that can be very frustrating, is that we can choose dialects and we can choose languages and we can choose different types of things, so that the key component is that the person or the personality that is being spoken to through Q, it can be understood by the people it needs to be.
Yeah. And you can control so many other things like emotions and speed and pacing, to make them sound a little bit more professional or a little bit more casual. So there's lots of control over this.
Can make them sound like the Micro Machines guy?
That's a little too fast. I don't think they have a setting for that.
I don't think.
Yeah. You're dating yourself with the Micro Machines guy.
I understand.
But it's okay.
It's our audience too. So right. I'm not calling you old, I promise.
All right. So Rob and I have rambled a lot about conversational pathways, natural language processing. We realize that this is a complicated subject.
Word salad.
Yes. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to, hop in the chat below. You could scan our QR code that we'll paste somewhere up there. I'm going to put it right over your hand. Okay. You can go to the helloq.io website and initiate a call through there, because there are QR codes up there to try out conversational pathways and to also be able to connect with us. So we want you to know that we're here. We're open to answering questions, and want to help you guys get started on whatever your first AI project may be.
That's right. All right. So for this episode of Thingee's Tech Talk, I'm Rob Barra. I'm just Rob.
Just Rob. And I'm just Jeff.
Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.